You're driving along, you press the gas pedal, and instead of a smooth surge forward, your car hesitates. It feels sluggish, like it's struggling to breathe. Maybe it jerks, maybe it just crawls. Either way, something's wrong. And if you've ever experienced this, you know how unsettling it can be. But here's the truth. Most causes behind power loss during acceleration are fixable. You don't need a mechanic to diagnose everything. You just need to understand how your car works, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We'll break down the systems that control acceleration, explain why they fail, and show you how to fix them step by step in plain language. Let's get started. Number 1, understanding the problem. When your car loses power while accelerating, it's not random. It's your engine telling you something's wrong. Acceleration depends on 3 key ingredients: air, fuel, and spark. These elements must work together in perfect harmony. If any one of them is disrupted, even slightly, your car's performance drops. Think of it like cooking. If you're missing an ingredient, the dish doesn't turn out right. Same with your engine. So let's look at each system and figure out where things might be going wrong. Number 2, air intake. Your engine needs air to function. It pulls in oxygen through the intake system, mixes it with fuel, and ignites it to create power. If that airflow is blocked or dirty, the engine can't breathe, and acceleration suffers. Start with the air filter. It's the first line of defense against dust and debris. Over time, it gets clogged. A dirty air filter restricts airflow, making your engine work harder and respond slower. You can check it by opening the air box, usually a plastic case near the front of the engine bay. If the filter looks dark or packed with dirt, replace it. It's a cheap fix that can make a big difference. Next, look at the intake hoses. These rubber tubes carry air from the filter to the engine. If they're cracked, loose, or leaking, air escapes before reaching the combustion chamber. That throws off the fuel-air balance and causes hesitation. Tighten any loose clamps and replace damaged hoses. Number 3, fuel delivery. Air alone isn't enough. Your engine also needs fuel, and it needs it delivered at the right pressure and volume. If fuel flow is interrupted, your car won't accelerate properly. Start with the fuel filter. It screens out dirt and rust from the fuel tank, but over time, it clogs. When that happens, fuel pressure drops, especially under load. You'll feel it most when climbing hills or merging onto highways. Replacing the fuel filter is usually simple and can restore lost power instantly. Then there's the fuel pump. It's responsible for pushing fuel from the tank to the engine. If it's weak or failing, you'll notice sluggish acceleration, especially at higher speeds. Listen for a whining noise from the rear of the car. That's often a sign the pump is struggling. You can also check fuel pressure with a gauge. If it's below spec, the pump may need replacing. Don't forget the fuel injectors. These tiny nozzles spray fuel into the engine in precise amounts. But if they're dirty or clogged, the spray pattern gets disrupted. That leads to poor combustion and weak acceleration. You can clean injectors with fuel additives or remove and clean them manually. Either way, restoring proper spray can bring your engine back to life. Number 4, spark and ignition. Once air and fuel are mixed, they need a spark to ignite. That's where the ignition system comes in. If the spark is weak or inconsistent, the engine misfires and power drops. Start with the spark plugs. They wear out over time, and when they do, they can't ignite the fuel properly. You'll feel hesitation, rough idling, and poor throttle response. Replacing spark plugs is one of the most effective DIY fixes you can do. Just make sure to use the correct type and gap for your engine. Next, check the ignition coil. These components deliver high voltage to the spark plugs. If a coil fails, that cylinder won't fire properly. You'll feel a drop in power and possibly see a check engine light. You can test coils with a multimeter or swap them between cylinders to see if the problem moves. If it does, you've found your faulty coil. Number 5, exhaust system. After combustion, the engine needs to get rid of gases quickly. If the exhaust is blocked, pressure builds up and the engine struggles to breathe. The most common issue here is a clogged catalytic converter. It filters harmful emissions, but it can get blocked over time, especially if the engine has been running rich. Symptoms include sluggish acceleration, poor fuel economy, and a rotten egg smell. Diagnosing a clogged cat can be done with a back pressure test or by temporarily removing it to see if performance improves. Also check the muffler and exhaust pipes. Rust, dents, or internal collapse can restrict flow. If you hear rattling or notice reduced power, inspect the exhaust system closely. Number 6. Sensors and electronics. Modern vehicles rely on sensors to monitor and adjust engine performance. If one of these sensors fails, the computer might send the wrong signals, causing hesitation and power loss. The mass airflow MAF sensor measures incoming air. If it's dirty or malfunctioning, the engine might run too rich or too lean. Cleaning the MAF sensor is straightforward. Unplug it, remove it carefully, and spray it with MAF cleaner. Let it dry completely before reinstalling. The oxygen O2 sensors monitor exhaust gases and help adjust the fuel mixture. If they're faulty, the engine might run inefficiently. Replacing O2 sensors is a simple job. Just make sure to use the correct type for your vehicle. Throttle position sensors, crankshaft sensors, and camshaft sensors also play a role. If any of these fail, the engine may hesitate or stall. Use a diagnostic scanner to check for error codes and pinpoint faulty components. Number 7. Transmission and drivetrain. Sometimes, what feels like engine power loss is actually a slipping transmission. If the clutch is worn or the fluid is low, the engine might rev, but the car won't move properly. Check your transmission fluid level and condition. It should be clean and at the correct level. If it's burnt or low, that could be your issue. In automatic cars, slipping gears or delayed shifts can mimic engine hesitation. In manual cars, a worn clutch can cause similar symptoms. Also inspect the drivetrain, especially the CV joints and differential. If these components are damaged, power may not reach the wheels efficiently. Number 8. Vacuum leaks and compression loss. Vacuum leaks are sneaky. They allow unmetered air into the engine, throwing off the fuel-air balance. Common leak points include intake gaskets, vacuum hoses, and throttle body seals. Use a smoke machine or carb cleaner to detect leaks. If the engine stumbles when sprayed, you found the leak. Compression loss is more serious. It means the engine isn't sealing properly due to worn piston rings, valves, or head gasket leaks. You'll feel sluggish acceleration and possibly see smoke from the exhaust. Diagnosing compression requires a gauge, but it's a critical step if all other fixes fail. Number 9. Engine sensors you might be ignoring. While we've covered the major sensors like MAF and O2, there are a few lesser-known ones that can quietly sabotage your acceleration. Let's start with the throttle position sensor, TPS. This sensor monitors the angle of your throttle and tells the engine how much air you're demanding. If it's faulty, the engine might misinterpret your pedal input, leading to hesitation, uneven acceleration, or even stalling. You might press the pedal halfway, but the engine thinks you're barely touching it. That mismatch creates a frustrating lag. Replacing a TPS is usually straightforward and can dramatically improve throttle response. Next is the manifold absolute pressure map sensor. This one measures the pressure inside the intake manifold and helps the engine adjust fuel delivery. If it's sending incorrect data, the fuel-air mixture goes off balance. The result? Poor acceleration, rough idling, and sometimes hard starts. A faulty map sensor doesn't always trigger a check engine light, so it's easy to overlook, but cleaning or replacing it can restore smooth power delivery. Then there's the knock sensor. This sensor listens for engine knock, tiny explosions caused by premature combustion. When it detects knock, it tells the computer to adjust timing and fuel delivery to protect the engine. But if the sensor itself is faulty, the engine might overcorrect, pulling back power unnecessarily. You'll feel sluggish acceleration, especially under load. Replacing a knock sensor is a bit more involved, but it's worth it if you've ruled out other causes. Number 10, dirty throttle body. Your throttle body controls how much air enters the engine. It's essentially a valve that opens and closes based on your pedal input, but over time, carbon deposits build up around the throttle plate. That gunk restricts airflow and causes the throttle to stick or respond slowly. Symptoms include delayed acceleration, uneven throttle response, and sometimes a high idle. You might feel like the car is hesitating before it finally surges forward. Cleaning the throttle body is a simple DIY fix. Just remove the intake hose, spray throttle body cleaner, and gently wipe away the buildup. Be careful not to damage the sensors or force the throttle plate open. It's electronically controlled in most modern cars. A clean throttle body can restore crisp, responsive acceleration and eliminate that annoying lag you feel when pulling away from a stop. Number 11. Engine timing. Engine timing refers to when the spark plug fires in relation to the piston's position. If timing is off, even by a few degrees, the engine loses efficiency. You'll feel it as sluggish acceleration, poor fuel economy, and sometimes knocking or pinging. Modern cars use a timing chain or belt to synchronize the crankshaft and camshaft. If that chain stretches or the belt slips, timing goes out of sync. You might not notice it at idle, but under acceleration, the engine feels weak and unresponsive. Diagnosing timing issues requires a scan tool and sometimes a physical inspection. If your car has high mileage and you've ruled out simpler causes, it's worth checking. Replacing a timing belt or chain is a bigger job, but it can restore lost power and prevent serious engine damage. Number 12. Battery and electrical system. It might sound strange, but a weak battery or poor electrical connections can affect acceleration. Modern engines rely heavily on sensors and electronic controls. If voltage drops, even slightly, those systems can misfire or shut down temporarily. Start by checking your battery terminals. Corrosion can create resistance, starving the engine computer of power. Clean the terminals with a wire brush and apply dielectric grease to prevent future buildup. Also inspect your ground connections. A loose or corroded ground strap can cause intermittent power loss, especially under load. If your car hesitates when accelerating but runs fine otherwise, this could be the culprit. Finally, test your battery and alternator. A weak battery might still start the car, but struggle to power sensors and ignition under stress. Replacing a failing battery or alternator can solve mysterious acceleration issues that don't show up on diagnostic scans. Losing power while accelerating isn't just annoying, it's a sign your car needs attention, but you don't need to panic. Most causes are simple, fixable, and within reach of a DIYer. Start with the basics: air filter, fuel filter, spark plugs. Then move deeper if needed. Listen to your car, feel its rhythm, and remember, every fix you make brings you closer to a smoother, safer drive. If this video helped you understand your car better, consider subscribing. We break down complex problems into simple solutions, so you can drive with confidence every day.